and welcome back to Let's Get Lit. In today's episode, we're going to be going over the physician's tale. In this tale, we're going to see father, daughter, their love for each other, and what happens when virtue or when someone takes something that's not theirs. So, I hope you guys are ready. Join me as we dive into this tale, and let's dig in to the physician's tale, shall we? The story starts with the physician telling us of a knight called Virginius and how he had a daughter. The physician goes on to say that his daughter was extremely beautiful and that truly her beauty was a work of art and that no painter could ever do her justice. He also goes on to say that her virtuousness was equally matched to her beauty. She was very well behaved, she knew exactly how to hold herself in conversations, and she always tried to do the best that she could possibly be. She never fell into wantonness, she always excused herself before things got too rowdy or ruckusy. The author then goes on a side tangent saying that if you are a parent and you are taking care of a child, the child is going to portray virtues that you uphold. So it is up to the parents to make sure they are living as virtuous as possible if they want your children to turn out the same way. And that parents have to be careful because many a wolf have devoured sheep and lamb under a watchless flock. The narrator jumps back into the story saying that one day the daughter and the mother made their way to the temple for prayer. Along the way, there just so happened to be a justice who was a governor of the land who saw her and said to himself that he must have this daughter. This justice thinks to himself how best to win her, for he knew that she was very just and very virtuous. So, he comes up with this plan and he hires another man to come in and woo her for him, and that if he was able to succeed, he would have all sorts of nice things. Claudius promises not to tell a single soul about this plan, and if he does, he should be beheaded. We learn that the man who is the judge is named Appius, and the man that he has hired is Claudius. The story continues, and one day as Appius is in court hearing trials, Claudius rushes in and tries to speak to him. Claudius states that he needs justice against Virginius, and that if he needs to, he can bring proof of what has happened. Appius says that he cannot make a judgment because Virginius is not there. Virginius then appears at the court in front of Appius and Claudius. Claudius states that Virginius's daughter is not actually his daughter, and that in fact, Claudius's servant. Appius, being so treacherous, would not let Virginius speak, and instantly said that he has to give her back to Claudius. Virginius goes home and tells the daughter what has happened, and about the trial. We learn the daughter's name is Virginia. He tells her that there are only two outcomes that could possibly happen. One being that she either lives a life of shame married to someone who she does not love and who has taken her by false advantages, or death. After weighing out both of these options, the daughter decides that it would be much more noble to die than to be the wife of a false, treacherous man. The father agrees and understands the choice that she has made. She asks for a little bit more time so she can process what's about to happen and to think of everything. After some time, she still agrees to go through with dying instead of being married off to this lecherous man. She asks him to do it very quickly and swift so that it doesn't hurt. Virginius cuts her head off and very quickly and brings the head to Appius, who's in court. When people of the town hear about this and see what's going on, all of them instantly begin to think that Appius is not a good person, and that in fact there was something more going on to this story. Due to the fact that Virginia had such a virtuous nature and care about her, and Virginius being such a noble knight, that there couldn't possibly have been anything that they did wrong. It soon gets out about the whole plan that had happened between Appius and Claudius, and they're both killed. Also, everyone who had a hand in this scheme were also killed. The end of this tale basically summarizes from the physician that we should not live in sin or strive to scheme, because it will come back to bite us in the end. After this story, the host says that this tale was very sad, and that his heart goes out to the lovely daughter Virginia and to the virtuous knight, and that it is a pity that her only suffering and her downfall was her beauty. He goes on to say that he needs to hear a new story, something that's happy, or something that's going to lighten up everybody's spirits, or else he's going to just mourn for this poor girl. He turns towards the partner and asks if he can tell us a tale that might bring some joy. The partner says of course he can do this, but first he needs a drink. Some ale and maybe a little bit of cake to gather his thoughts. This is the end of the physician's tale. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Have an amazing day, and as always, stay lit.